Most of us have read and understand the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Most of us have read that, and it's a top-rated book of all time. And I want to talk today about the Crypto Dad, how you can take these principles and apply it to your crypto portfolio to accelerate the velocity at which you actually escape the system and get rich for sure. I asked ChatGPT. I essentially asked for a summary of the book and the main ideas. Okay, so I want to hit these one by one and really just address how you can apply these to your crypto portfolio with DeFi to change the game for you forever. Number one being the rich, they don't work for money. Most people are trading their time for money. The wealthy build or acquire assets that generate income. It's going to reduce your reliance on needing a paycheck. It's going to reduce you needing Bitcoin to go up and hit a 2x in the next 30 months. It reduces the need for you to need something from your portfolio versus being blessed and receiving the benefits from your portfolio when they happen. It allows you to see the long-term picture and not immediately need that portfolio to do X, Y, or Z. So we need to figure out how to get an income off of our crypto, which we'll touch on here in a second. I want to see what other things it summarizes here. Assets. Assets put money in your pocket. Businesses, rental properties, stocks. Liability takes money out of your pocket. Personal home is one of these. Interesting. Rental properties are an asset, but a personal home is not. Some people may disagree with that. I actually would quite agree with this. Car loans, consumer debt, etc. The main idea is wealth grows by buying assets, not by accumulating liabilities disguised as assets. A lot of people think the cars are assets. A lot of people think the personal home is an asset. The home that you live in, I would agree with this, is not an asset. It is a liability. It is definitely a liability. It is not, at the very least, it is not a cash producing asset. And you could somewhat apply that thinking to Bitcoin. Do I think it is one of the best assets of all time? Yes, hands down, for many reasons. Finite, immutable, permissionless. You can send it anywhere to anyone at any time. You could become your own bank, which we'll get to. And no one can say yes or no to you to try and stop you. It again is a limited supply. It is something decentralized. It's something I believe in very, very much so. My favorite asset of all time. But what it doesn't do really is produce an income. But I will again, we'll get to it. I'm going to show you how you can do just that. I want to keep reading on a little more. Financial education is more important than academic education. I would also very much so agree. I know a lot of people that have high incomes that are worth nothing, still living paycheck to paycheck. They don't understand the financial education side of things, which again, even taking that to DeFi that I'm about to show you and teach you your crypto portfolio, actually understanding what you're investing in or just basic fucking theory when it comes to running a portfolio will take you from being a gambling degenerate to someone that is actually identifying as an investor. Step one is having the right mindset and identifying as a long-term investor and businessman, which we'll get to here as well. Mind your own business. Focus on building income-producing assets outside of your job. That's exactly what we're doing here with crypto and DeFi, which again, we'll break down a little more in just 1 second. Taxes, corporations, you definitely can LLC up for your DeFi portfolio. Not going to cover that in this video. I really don't ever want to give tax advice. The rich invent money. Oh, this is so perfect right here. Opportunities are created through knowledge, creativity, and action. Many people miss opportunities because they lack confidence or education. This is so big in crypto and DeFi. So many people avoid it because it's this big gray area where they don't understand. So rather than getting the education to dive into it, whether that is from me or like free content on YouTube or private courses, whatever that may be, rather than learning about it, they just go scam or no, oh, it's too difficult. And you just leave so much money on the table doing those things. You leave so much money on the table. Whether that's 10% a month, maybe you only make 5% a month, whatever it may be, you're leaving this giant void in your future portfolio because you're not acting or you're not educating yourself. And then that's too, acting on opportunities. There are some people that I have taught, and there are some people even in the comments and stuff that I read, where they have enough education to get started, but they are like addicted to education. They are like addicted to, I think I wrote something about it the other day. Let me see. Addicted to education, allergic to execution. And that is so true. There's someone that joined our private community like, I want to say like a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago. There's somebody there that once a month, pops in online, is like, hey, I'm not understanding like what to get for this, and this goes offline for another month. It's like a monthly check-in just to like say the same exact thing and never get started. And I'm not trying to be like, ooh, that guy and like this, anything like that. But there are some people where that might be a situation of never even applying yourself to the education part. Because guys, as far as like in our private community, I literally have step by step how to open and do everything. So it's there. But some people, they educate themselves on how to do DeFi, how to get into crypto, but they just lack that confidence and lack that ability just to act. Speed. I made a video on the channel recently about speed. Speed is everything. Get involved, start investing, start growing your DeFi portfolio, because you can only learn so much from reading before you just have to start clicking the buttons. You got to start putting the money in so you can see how it works. And maybe you'll make some mistakes, and that's okay. You should always start small, and you'll make small mistakes. But for at least for me, that's one of the best ways to learn. When you start opening, let's see what this portfolio's got going on here. When you start creating a portfolio and you're seeing it working, this one right here is $15,000, making about 10% a month, making about 50 bucks a day off that, which ends up being about $1,500 a month, 1432. Cool, same shit, right? And you start learning what you're doing and how it's working. And if you make mistakes, like black hole is probably a mistake position, right? But you make mistakes, you learn from it. Why was it? Because I was looking for an APR back in the day and not focused on quality of assets, right? And that's something that you learn and you move forward with. You learn you should probably go wider on the ranges than you think, right? You want to go wide, catch a lot of that movement there. And you start to learn all these little things, but you can't just sit here and never get to the place where you're starting to open positions, because you just want to keep learning and learning and learning and learning. At some point, you've learned everything that you need to get started, and everything else is just this little mental masturbation of just making yourself feel good. I'm still learning. Again, addicted to education, allergic to execution. You just need to do it. You just need to do it. You know that I've taught you. Everyone here watching this knows that my preferred method is to lend collateral, borrow against the collateral, and then run DeFi with that. Because long term, you're going to win and get the best of both worlds. You don't need to overthink this shit. You need to get started, right? You pick your long term winners. Does it have to be Bitcoin? No. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, whatever it may be, I would stick to the big ones at the moment, at the beginning, right? Borrow against those. You're basically pulling equity out. And this goes back to the conversation we're inventing money. I'm inventing money out of my Bitcoin because I'm taking it and I'm getting equity out of there without ever selling it. And I'm paying 3% a year to do this. And this also kind of hits on taxes and corporations, their advantage, because a loan is tax-free. It's tax-free, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not selling my Bitcoin. And I use this to then come over here, and I use that loan, and I come over here, and I'm turning that 4 to 5% a year I pay in interest into 112% a year. I'm inventing money, and then I'm providing a service, running this business where every time someone swaps Monad for USDC, I get paid. Every time someone swaps Bitcoin for USDC, I get paid. When they swap AVAX to Black, I get paid. When they swap ETH to Brett, I get paid. When they swap Link to USDC, I get paid. Another Monad USDC. Zor to ETH, I get paid. Swapping this wrap version of Bitcoin to Ethereum, there's 24 cents in this deposit, so ignore that shit. But still, I'm getting paid. Just about half of a penny I had been paid in the last day on this. So not relevant, right? But that is the game. Inventing money, running business, like it doesn't get much more simple than that. You work to learn, not just to earn. It doesn't get much more simple than that, but you can't be addicted to education, okay? There has to be the act. You have to act on the opportunities as well. I want to emphasize that so much. Some people get so dismissive and they don't take the steps to educate, and that is a lot of people. A lot of people will never educate themselves on crypto or Bitcoin in general, much less this deep rabbit hole of DeFi that we're talking about, right? Like this is, a very niche corner of the market a lot of people don't understand, and they just write it off as scam or write it off as too complicated, whatever it may be. And that's okay for them. But if you want to be the rich dad, not the poor dad, the rich crypto dad, and not the poor degenerate gambling crypto dad, well, you need to educate yourself, but then also take action, because a lot of these things you won't learn without taking action. Learn investing. It comes from a skill like DeFi. You start to be secure in yourself because you know that money's coming in every day. It takes so much pressure off of you. Think like an investor, not just a worker. Build assets that generate cash flow. Improve your intelligence continuously, your financial intelligence. Take calculated risk, right? There's light leverage we're taking, borrowing from our long-term assets we believe in, putting that into other assets we believe in long-term to monetize, okay? And then wealth is a mindset before it's a number. Exactly. I tell people start small. Stop educating yourself so much and just get started with $100, okay? And then if you have the right mindset and you understand what you're doing at $100, it's only about scaling. You scale that $100 to 15K and you're making 50 bucks a day. You scale this to 150K and you're making $500 a day. You scale it to 1.5 mil and you're making, what is that? That's crazy money. 5 grand a day? Is that what that is? I don't know. The math's hurting my head. This right here, 15 grand. You're making 1,500 bucks a month. At 150 grand, you're making $15,000 a month. And at 1.5 mil, you're making 150K a month. Does that sound insane? It is. It's very insane. But again, remember, the biggest risk is the assets you're exposed to in DeFi, guys. So you don't want to be buying assets just to chase the shiny APR if you don't already believe in it. But we also do have advanced strategies like the 10K Fast Track, right? Where I can show you how to hedge your exposure as well, to remove some of that downside risk on assets like Monad that you just might not be so sure about. And it helps you to just isolate the APR that you're making, which is what we're after here in the first place. So my biggest takeaway for everyone here is essentially going to be right here. The rich don't work for money, they work for assets that generate income. But a lot of people think that their Bitcoin is just enough by itself, which again, it's going to do the job. But if you turn your Bitcoin from a personal home into a rental property, you will make so much more money over the long term. And you will become the rich crypto dad versus the poor crypto dad. Who the poor crypto dad, he's scared to buy Bitcoin because it's not going to make enough fast enough. So they gamble degen memes and low market cap tokens and whatnot, and they never win long term. The rich crypto dad is going to not treat Bitcoin like this personal home that's going to slowly appreciate value, but they're also not going to go gamble the degen casino. They're going to buy it and treat it like a rental property, doing exactly what I showed you guys, where you're going to pull equity out of your Bitcoin because you lend it. You borrow USDC against it. You're paying 4 or 5% a year APR and interest, right? And you're taking that and you're monetizing it at, look at that, 113%. And that might be insane to some people. And for a lot of people that I know, this is a lower APR. People aren't happy with this. They're not happy with 10% a month. And I think that's crazy. If I'm making 60% a month, like this wallet right here, structured differently, right? Monad's a smaller percentage of the portfolio. It's doing a 60% APR. And part of that's because it's going to show Link is not doing a high APR as it is. It's doing a better APR than it's saying, which we'll just wait and see. Filter out some of this junk, which you'll see that there's about $12,000 in here and it's doing 60%, which is $600 a month. Like, that's perfect. Only 60%. This thing's only making me an extra 7 grand a year off of the Bitcoin that I have lent out. Take that $10,000, put it to work, and it starts to appreciate as well. So not only am I making the earned income per month, but since I'm buying long-term assets and putting them in pools, when they appreciate, like the market's gone up the last couple of days, well, then that $10,000 debt, I'm using the income, monthly rewards, to buy more Bitcoin, and the $10,000 debt has been put into assets that appreciate over time, and now that's worth 12.2. So if I wanted to just end this operation right now, I could pay it back, and I'm keeping a 2K difference plus for all the fees of win. Because I have 12.2, and I started with 10. Right? And that's the game. It's the freaking game, right? And, rich dad, poor dad, it's like we're taking on debt in the dollar that's not backed by gold. Dollar is not pegged to gold. It's going down forever and ever and ever into negative infinity. We're buying long-term assets, but we're not just treating them as the personal home. We want to build an income. We want to create money off of the crypto we already own. And this is the game. This is the game. And again, VFAT, it's just basically an aggregator of all these different DeFi platforms that I use. PancakeSwap, Uniswap, Aerodrome. These are all big brand names in the EVM space. There's Orca for Solana. There's Cetus for Sui, stuff like that, right? Don't be looking for these brand new projects don't be looking for anything like brand new. Stick with the OG spots and safe. You don't have to use VFAT. You can just come in here to Uniswap directly. Like, actually just go to Uniswap and then freaking explore pools, right? You can just do it this way too. For me, I like VFAT because it's going to pull everything into one place, like one giant Amazon shopping list, and I don't have to go out to all these random stores and check rates. I can just find APRs I like on a range, open it, I can manage everything in one dashboard, even if it's all on a different blockchain and on different exchanges. Like this one's on Uniswap, this one's on Black Hole, Uniswap on ETH, Black Hole on Avalanche, Uniswap on Monad, Black Hole on Avalanche, right? So I don't have to go to these different sites. Just boom, one dashboard, nice and easy, making $600 a month off of this when it's just borrowed from my Bitcoin initially. So this Bitcoin is cash flowing me $600 a month. Buy more Bitcoin with it. The loan also appreciates in value over time. So once Link hits its all-time highs, it'll be worth a lot more. Once ETH hits the top of this range, it'll be worth a lot more as well. And that's just the game. That's the freaking game, guys. And it's literally that easy. Don't be the poor, degenerate, gambling crypto dad. Be the rich crypto dad. Be the one that acts like an investor, acts like a businessman. Okay, crypto is full of degens and gamblers and X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. It's full of just these guys, and I have them too, like the freaking Pit Viper classes and everything. Like I get it. I love the mentality. I love having fun with it, but that's not how the portfolios ran. That's how we can have our demeanor be, and we can be fun like that if we want, but the portfolio has to be ran like a business and function like a business that's going to win long term. And then so as Bitcoin appreciates over time, you'll still get that appreciation just like you would if you were a simple personal home owner, which it's the best asset you can hold for that, right? It's going to appreciate vastly over time. But imagine if you were also treating it like a rental property and you're running businesses and creating income, inventing money off of the crypto you already own, and you were making $600 a month. Or let's say you're doing a more aggressive strategy like the Monad one that's paying a lot better right now. You were making $1,500 a month. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how you can become the rich crypto dad and not the poor gambler, degenerate crypto dad. If you want help directly in working one-on-one with me, click the link in the description down below. You'll book a call with my team and we'll see if you're a good fit, and we'll get you started along the path to freedom, building this flywheel, using the crypto you already own to create an income, to invent money that will accelerate the velocity at which you escape the game. You escape the matrix, you get out of the rat race, and you live the life and you build the life of freedom that you want and that you desire, whatever that may be. Everyone has different goals. They want to live different places. Freedom and the perfect life looks different to them. If you're a good fit, we will help make sure that happens for you. Again, click that link in the description, book a call with me. And if not, boys, YouTube says, watch this video. It's probably on this size and do a little corner cam today. So watch this video down here. And if not, I'll see you in the next one.